Hello, my name is Thea Morgan, Stott certified Pilates instructor of 17 years and physical therapist aide. Welcome to my website and welcome to your complimentary 20-minute essential level Pilates mat workout. We're going to cover the 5 basic principles and then give you a nice workout. Please join me to the mat. In a seated position, the first principle is breathing, and in Pilates we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth with gently pursed lips, or however is most comfortable for you. We call it lateral costal breathing. Lateral is the side body and costal are your ribs, where we want to expand the rib cage like shark gills, but keeping the tummy engaged so we're not blowing it up like in some yoga and voice lessons. So come to a seated position. One of the best ways to feel the rib cage move is breathing in flexion of the spine. So what you're going to do is sit up on your sit bones, tuck your chin, and then drape yourself over your lap. Inhale deeply through the nose. Feel the ribs move. Now exhale completely through your mouth. And again, breathe in through your nose. And exhale through the mouth. Now on your next inhale, make sure that you avoid shrugging your shoulders. Inhale deeply. Feel that expansion and exhale, expelling your breath. Now stack your spine up. The next principle is cervical stability. So your head on your neck. Your head is like a bowling ball sitting on a golf tee, and we want to be able to pivot it, contracting the deepest stabilizers along the front of your throat to stabilize the head on the neck, because when we do flexion, we want to make sure we're not letting our head move too much. So what we're going to do is simply chin knot. Back your head up a little bit, draw your shoulders down, and then just tuck your chin and lift. So you want to find neutral, which is where your chin is parallel to the floor and your nose points directly forward, and then you simply tuck a little bit and release. Now let's do that on the mat. When you lie down, hold on to the back of your thighs if you need a little extra help. Tuck the tailbone under and round down sequentially. From here, just rest your head on the mat and your hands on your rib cage, because we'll be covering some more of this rib cage stuff in just a moment. Now from here, your nose points directly to the ceiling. We're going to lightly tuck the chin, feel the gentle contraction in your throat, and then release. And tuck and release. And typically we combine the inhale with the chin tuck. So let's inhale and then release. Chin tuck and release. Now we're going to cover a little bit of scapular stabilization, so your shoulder blades rest on your rib cage. And when we protract the scapula, come further away from your spine. When we retract, they come in towards your spine. We're all familiar with elevation, which is like shrugging, and then depression. So we're just going to go through protraction and retraction here. Bring your fingertips up to the ceiling, keeping your arms straight. You're going to inhale, reach your fingertips toward the ceiling. Feel the shoulder blades glide away from your spine, and then exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades in towards your spine. Inhale, protract, and exhale, retract. I'm keeping those elbows straight. Inhale, protract. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, retract. Now, we're going to talk about the rib cage placement. So bring your arms up above the head without even thinking about it. Now notice my ribs are popping up and I have some space here, too much space. So I'm going to nestle the low ribs into the mat and close the front down and in. So now the rib cage is more stable. So if you have your hands down by your sides and then you keep this engagement and bring the arms over your head, now test it to see if they're popping up. If they are, we might need to do a little bit more work to get them stabilized. Now, let's move into pelvic and lumbar placement. So your pelvis, the lumbar should have a natural little convex curve, but everybody's different. So what we're going to do is flatten the low back into the mat and just feel that, okay? So this is a posterior pelvic tilt. Now we're going to create a little air pocket underneath and then test with your hands to see if you have a flat triangle between the 3 bony landmarks of your pelvis, hip bones and pubic bone. So when you find that little flat triangle, there's probably an air pocket under here. First and foremost, we'll learn how to imprint. On your exhale, Kegel, and then tighten your abdominals, and then just Gently nestle the small of your back into the mat using abdominal contraction, and then inhale, release. So on your exhale and Kegel, when you tighten your abdominals, the pelvis tilts. On your inhale, it comes back into neutral. Let's do that 2 more times. Take a breath in to prepare. Exhale, tighten the abdominals, flatten the small of your back into the mat, and then inhale, release. 1 more time. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, release. Now we're going to start mobilizing. Make sure that your feet are within about 1 foot away from your sit bones, and we'll exhale, imprint. Now push your feet down into the mat and roll your sacrum, low back, middle back up off the mat till you're in shoulder bridge. Check in, make sure your knees are in line with your hip joint. Inhale to stay, and exhale, roll down. So you're really tucking the pelvis under. Feel that length in your low back through imprint, and then down into neutral. Exhale, push your feet down, go through imprint, roll up, inhale here, and then exhale back down. Let's do that 1 more time. Exhale, imprint, peel off. Inhale, stay, and exhale, roll down. Now this was an articulation of the spine. Hip lift is where we lift the spine and lower it, stabilize in a neutral position. So find that neutral pelvis, the flat triangle. Maybe put your hand in your back and then spread out your fingers. Push your feet down, activate your glutes. Now lift and lower. If your hand is in the small of your back, you'll feel those back muscles engaging, and that's stabilizing your spine. Learning how to stabilize your spine and mobilize through the hip joint. Let's do 3 more. Hopefully you're feeling your hamstrings and your glutes. And 1 more. There. Now we're going to go through flexion of the thoracic spine. This is called an ab prep, and this is where we need to stabilize the head on the neck. So looking at the ceiling for the moment, tuck your chin, have your hands hover over the mat, tighten your abs but stay in neutral. Take an inhale, exhale, flex forward, eyes gaze over the knees. Inhale to stay, and then exhale, come back down. Inhale, chin tuck, exhale, flex forward. Inhale, stay. Now notice this is where the ribs move, but the tummy doesn't. And then exhale, back down. Let's do 3 more. Chin tuck, exhale, reach the fingertips toward the heels. Inhale, stay. Exhale, back down. Another thing to think about, chin tuck, exhale, glide the ribs towards your hip bones. Inhale, stay. And exhale, back down. Now we're going to do some marching. Keep your neutral pelvis. We're going to tighten the abs. Lift 1 foot just a little bit and lower. Lift the other foot and lower. Now you should be feeling some nice engagement here. Now you can always stay with this option, or you can take it up a notch, go into imprint. Nice tone here. 1 leg into tabletop, hold onto your imprint, other leg here. Inhale, moving only through the hip joint, foot toward the floor, exhale, back up. Other leg, inhale, lower, and exhale, back up. And this is where you should feel an increased amount of tension in the lower abs across your midsection. Let's do 1 more each leg. Now place 1 foot at a time down. And we're going to do a little spinal rotation in what's called a sundial. So coming onto your side, make a pillow arm. Okay. Now, when you're doing your side lying anything, you want to pull your abdominal muscles up. So think of that Tempur-Pedic graphic where the spine is nice and straight on the mattress. That's what you want here. So you're not just kind of relaxing down in. You're stabilizing. Those muscles are working. Your knees are stacked. Your fingertips can be at your head. Take an inhale and then exhale, rotate. Stay here to breathe in. And then exhale, use those muscles to pull you back to start. Another option, straight arm. Inhale, fingertip to the ceiling. Now set your arm in the shoulder joint. And then exhale, you're still rotating through the shoulder girdle, not just the arm. Inhale and exhale, come back. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale up, exhale, rotate. Inhale, stay. And exhale, return. Since we're here, let's do some sideline leg series. So straighten out your legs. Pull up your abdominals. Lift your top leg with a pointed foot. You can see it right here. Then flex the foot and lower, making sure that your ankle stays in line or behind your hip joint. Inhale here and exhale. Now you should be able to feel your core muscles stabilizing your spine. So the leg is mobilizing, your body is stabilizing. It's one reason why Pilates is so effective, is because we really have to put the mind on the muscle group and make them either mobilize or stabilize. So you're using more of your muscles. Let's do 2 more. Now leg circles will challenge that stabilization even more. Lift to about hip height. Inhale up, back and around for 6, 5. Try not to move your body. 4, 3, straight leg. 2, 1. Now we'll reverse the circle. Push back, up and around. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep your up leg up, bottom leg will come to meet it. So now we're working inner thigh muscles of the bottom leg. And let's do 3, 2, and 1. Keep your legs together, lower, and then bottom leg pushes up the top. Now you're going to feel the top set of obliques. And 3, 2, and 1. Keep your bottom leg straight. Take your pillow hand, hold onto the knee, and then do a nice twist with a couple of good deep breaths for a stretch. Now feel the top ribs expand. As we transition to the other side, I want you to know that you're in between each rib are 2 sets of muscles called the intercostals. So they get some exercise as well. So let's get onto your side. Knees are stacked. Fingertip at your head for one option. You're pulling up your abdominals. Exhale, twist. Inhale, stay. Exhale, return. And then another option. Inhale, fingertips to the ceiling. Now set the shoulder in the shoulder joint. Rotate, inhale. And then use the muscles, keeping the arm nice and stabilized in the joint. And again, inhale up, set. Exhale, twist. Inhale, stay. And exhale, return. Sideline leg. Reach your legs long, abs up. Lift with a pointed foot. Flex and lower, keeping your ankle in line or behind with your hip. You can have your hands wherever you need them. And 3, 2, and 1. Now about hip height, circles. Keep your body still. 6, 5, 4. Feel those hip muscles. 2, 1. Reverse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up there. Bottom leg comes up and then lower. So you'll notice you have to balance on your side. And sometimes you might fall over, but that's your oblique strength being challenged. And 3, 2, and 1. Keep your legs together. Lower and exhale. Bottom leg pushes up the top. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. About that stretch, hold on to the knee, rest your head, take it back and breathe. Now, let's go onto the stomach for some prone work, back extension and hip extension. So you want your legs about mat width apart, toes turned out. Your arms will be mat width apart, forearms, elbows, and hands on the mat, right above the shoulders. Now activate your thighs, glutes, tuck your pelvis and pull in your abdominals. Lengthen out your neck and exhale, lift your chest. Now make sure you avoid looking up or dropping your head. So ears in line with your shoulders and then come down. You can either inhale up and exhale down or reverse. We just want to make sure you don't hold your breath. Let's do one more. Long neck. Then you should be feeling the muscles along your upper back contract. Now we're going to do another position. Palms face the floor by your thighs. Float up, rotate your thumbs up. Feel your posterior shoulder muscles working a bit, and then down, and up, and down. Let's do one more like this, and down. Now a swim prep. I like to do it with my elbows bent a lot of times because I feel like I use more of my shoulder muscles. So what we're going to do is lift the chest a little bit, tighten and re-engage your low body, lift one arm opposite leg, and then lower. You're feeling the leg being lifted through your glutes and hamstrings. Lift and lower. One more each pair. So this is hip extension for your legs. Now let's get another hip extension exercise called heel squeeze prone. So bending the knees, let's see if you can get their heels together, toes apart, wiggle, wiggle up. All right, now your knees are about mat width apart. We're going to stack the arms or hands, rest your forehead on them, keep your upper body soft and quiet, push your pubic bone into the mat, exhale, Kegel. Now squeeze your heels equally and powerfully together, and then inhale, release. Kegel, exhale, squeeze. Now you should be feeling the glutes, and release. Let's see if you can lift your knees off of the mat. This is hip extension, okay? Very important to be able to get there eventually if you're not there yet. Squeeze the heels equally and release. And let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now straighten out your legs. Tuck your toes under to be in line with your hip joint. We're going to slide the hands by the low ribs. Now push up into something like a swan dive. So this is a big extension. Stop before discomfort. Now we're going to come onto the hands and knees and do a little cat and camel. Although I call camel slumpy old horse because that's what it looks like to me. So let's start in slumpy old horse. Exhale, Kegel, and tuck your tailbone under through the sacrum, low back, middle back, upper back, even your cervical spine. Inhale as you look through your thighs. Exhale, take your tailbone out. And then back extension. Inhale to stay. Exhale. Inhale. Feel the ribs expand again, and then exhale. And one more. Think of articulating your spine. Now, let's focus on some abdominal work. So we did the ab prep, so those principles all apply. The head is going to be stabilized on the neck. Will be an imprint. So classic Pilates exercise is called the 100. So it's an endurance exercise for your abdominal contraction. So make sure that you support your head with one hand and then the other. If your neck is feeling stressed, you can keep your head down. You can have your legs in tabletop the entire time, or on the exhale, extend your legs, inhale, return, or exhale, keep them out the whole time. So breathing in through the nose for 5 counts and out through the mouth for 5 counts. But we're only going to 50 because this is a shortened class. Okay. Roll down like we did at the beginning of the class. Lumbar spine flexes. Keep that imprint. Legs in tabletop. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, tuck your chin. And exhale. Now breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 10 in. Exhale. 20 in. And out. 30 in. And exhale. 40 in, and exhale. 50, inhale, bend your knees, and then lower your upper body. Now we'll do a few of our classic Pilates ab sequence exercises. So first we'll do single leg stretch. So imprint again. Bring one leg and then the other in tabletop. Tuck your chin and lift your shoulders. Place both hands on one knee and extend the opposite leg. Inhale here, exhale, push. Now, some people do draw their leg in like this. I like to get a little bit more work as I block my knee from coming into my belly. You can also support your head and neck with your fingertips. pull in the tongue. Let's do 2 more each leg. And 1, and 1. Now bring your legs into tabletop and place your fingertips at the base of your head and your neck. Rotation or obliques. Keep your knees still for the first option as you rotate onto one shoulder blade and elbow. Inhale, center. Exhale, or extend the opposite leg, avoiding rocking through the pelvis. And let's do 3, 2, and 1. Now rest your head. Scissors. This is nice to create some length from with your hamstrings. So you have the option of keeping your head down. Place both hands on one leg, engage your abdominals. Exhale, float the other leg down for 2 controlled pulses. Inhale, back up and pulse, 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 pulse. Another option, tuck your chin and lift toward your shoulder blades. Clear the mat. Your eyes gaze through the knees. When you're in this flexion, nice little tip, nose points forward. Draw your leg up towards your body. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Bring your legs into tabletop and roll down. Now let's do a bridge exercise to lengthen out your abs. Place your feet in line with your sit bones, and you can roll or just lift. Knees stay in line with your hip joint. Now tuck your pelvis, and then just let your abdominal muscles relax for a moment for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your body back down. Hold onto one leg, lift the other, and roll up. Now we're gonna get back onto the stomach for a little swan dive, and that'll really help stretch this out, and we'll have a little fun with a swan dive with rock, okay? So, back to the legs turned out from the hip through the toes, hands mat width apart, right above your shoulders. Roll your shoulders down back, engage your thighs and glutes, and long neck, exhale, lift. Now push up. Take an inhale, you might feel a stretch in your tummy, and then exhale, elbows down first to avoid shrugging. Take an inhale, exhale, lift. Now here's where we get to do the rock. Squeeze your glutes and your thighs, bend your elbows, rock. 3, 2, and 1. Take an inhale, elbows down first. Now we're going to connect the legs, slide the hands down, push up into a controlled extension, and sit back into a shell stretch. This is where you want to tuck your pelvis a little bit, put your heels by your backside by your heels. You can reach your arms nice and long. If your head doesn't rest comfortably on the mat, you can stack your hands or get a pillow. Then walk both hands to one side into what I call crescent shell. One client of mine prefers to call it croissant shell. And the other side. And then back to center. Now, a well-rounded workout should always include spinal flexion, extension, rotation, and lateral flexion. So from here, you can be either seated or kneeling. Take your arms out. So we're going to do a little rotation. So exhale, bending the elbow. Exhale, exhale, inhale back. Exhale, 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 inhale back. Keep your waist long. Keep your glutes activated to stabilize the low half. Absent. One more each way. Now, lateral flexion, placing the hands at the back of your head. Inhale, side bend. Think of tipping one elbow up toward the ceiling and one toward the floor. And then use your back muscles and your obliques to bring you back up. Inhale to the side to really get that side body stretch. And exhale up. Ears in line with your shoulders. Let's do one more. and that should feel really good. Thank you very much for visiting my website, and thank you very much for taking this video. Send me an email. I'll look forward to getting to know you. Be well.